But she, stuff keeps things everybody.
All set? Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome.
Morning.
We missed last month, I know, but now we're back to our regular schedule. Just to remind everybody, you're being recorded today in accordance with the law.
And may I also point out, this is a new speaker system. If anyone were to call into our meeting, their voices would, I don't know, Elena, did they come out through all of them or just this one?
I can't remember. It was somewhere in the middle, like, so, yeah.
Katie was just in and she pointed to this one, but now I see the other three, so
Yeah, I can't.
But don't be
It might
startled.
It might be all of them, so.
don't be
right.
startled if a
Yeah.
voice comes in.
But wouldn't it show up on the screen too? No?
Sure.
It would, but instead of the, like, you'll see their face up there, but not, their voice will come from here. So
Okay.
like, you'll look there, but hear their voice in a different direction.
Well, that's good to know.
I wish all of our voices would come through there. You got everybody.
Oh, right.
Well, you got Phil.
These
Phil,
high
you can't
ceilings.
get much closer.
The high ceilings absorb a lot of, it stays
Well,
up
she could
there.
always go over and just sit in his lap.
We're being recorded.
All right, moving on to more pertinent conversation. Okay, the Council on Aging agenda. First thing up is acceptance of reports. I'm going to give you a few minutes to look over the secretary's report, even though Ann got them out on the same day like she always does, and they were beautiful as usual. We always are very happy to see them, and so take a few minutes. Does anybody have any comments or questions or any changes they want to make?
It's all old news now.
I was just thinking the same thing, all of the
Mm.
programs that we went through, plus the
Yeah.
water issue and everything.
Yeah.
It's good that that's in the rearview mirror. May I have a motion, please, to accept the notes as written? Bill and Diane seconds it. All in favor? Aye. Perfect. Treasurer's report, Carol, you're up.
Okay, this is dated September 10th, 2025. The COA gift account. There were no donations or expenses throughout the month. The food pantry account, there were donations, 2 private donations, $125. Expenses, WB Mason, $446.67 for paper goods. In Amazon, $367.90.
Can I, excuse me, clarify something? So I had ordered through Amazon, we were in dire need and it just wasn't coming in. Finally, I said, I have to do something. So I ordered through Mason. That's why you say, wow, that much for paper goods. Either one of those would be for, at least 2 months. And so I ordered through Mason. They come the next day. Lo and behold, Amazon came like the next week. But yeah, I'm not real thrilled with Amazon myself. The town doesn't have Prime, I guess, to my knowledge. We have an account, but we just don't, it's not next day delivery.
Well, hopefully they have some kind of account when they're not paying for shipping. Because if you have Amazon Prime, you don't pay for shipping.
That's right. We pay for shipping.
Well, I think that that's something they should look into with the town administrator.
Not that expensive, Prime.
When you stop paying for shipping, it pays for itself. Seriously, I didn't know that.
Yeah, sure.
But they're, I'm gonna state WB Mason. They're a little bit more expensive in the actual products, but there is no shipping cost there.
All right.
Of course.
But I was gonna say, if you,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
meet
and
with
it
the
comes
town
the next day.
administrator,
And it comes the next day.
There shouldn't be any
we should
shipping
have the time.
prices.
But that's the town, it's the town's account. They opened it up for all departments, so I'm not quite sure. I'll check with Katie and see if she can.
Yeah, Elena, any comment on that?
No, I don't.
Gotcha.
I actually didn't think that they charge for shipping if you were over a certain amount. So that, you know, I owe $50, you don't pay for shipping.
No, private account doesn't matter.
Yeah, I haven't been involved with any orders directly.
I was
So
gonna,
I think,
if Amy's ordering something with a town Amazon account,
yeah.
they don't have the Prime account.
Right, I mean,
You're
my
paying for
kids
shipping
are
for everything.
Katie and
Yeah.
Jeremy, we start with.
Yeah, because that's throwing money away as far as I'm concerned.
So we have a good supply of paper goods.
But that's all right. That's okay.
So that was back actually in June, because this is July's report,
Right.
so actually we're coming to the end of those supplies.
That's all right.
No,
That's all right.
Paper goods go so fast.
I'm sorry, Carol.
Okay,
More thing on there.
and then, van expense, the tire doctor, 6 tires for $1,086.95. When was that?
That was in June, so it would have been paid in July.
Oh, so that was,
No, I'm sorry, not June. That was the beginning. I'm sorry, the beginning. It had to be July, the beginning of the new fiscal year. So, and that money was put into our budget. There was money put into our budget for that.
okay. So that's the report for July.
August, I'm 2 pages later.
Oh, and then, yeah, then there's August. The COA gift account, donations, there were no donations, but there were expenses for Market Basket for the cookout, $318.69. Price Chopper for Amy, $62.46. Appreciation token, Janice Hubner, a card, cake, and a floral arrangement. So that was for August. And the food pantry donations were 2,150. One was Business Dean Bank, 525. 3 personal donations, 1,125. $500 designated recipient of the cardboard boat race. And then
Because
did,
the highway department won, and they designated the food pantry as their charity of choice. And
oh,
so
they did.
they and the other entries all gave $100 to the food pantry account.
And is it possible you can send out thank yous for that?
So
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, no, you wouldn't have known. You're just reading it now.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
That was
When
very
it says
kind.
personal, is that because they don't want to be recognized?
So what happened is I contacted a big donor and I asked them and they said yes. And then this morning they emailed me and they said, please don't include our name. So I apologize. It looks a little bit messy there, but
Well, you had your reasons.
they, so one of them was a $1,000 donation.
Wow. That was very nice of them. Generous.
That's great, though.
okay, so that takes care of those donations. Expenses, Market Basket, $491.66 for stock. Price Chopper, $83.88 for laundry soap. And that takes care of that. Van expense, spring rebuilders alignment, $271.69. And miscellaneous expense, Demco 33 chairs, $3,499.54.
Those last two items were, again, those were in our new budget for this fiscal year. The money for the chairs and that money for the van alignment.
Don't they usually align once they put new tires on?
No. not at-
They don't?
Not at this place.
I thought that they did too.
Yeah, because it's a van, it's like a big vehicle, it had to go up to Shrewsbury.
The tire doctor is they drop ship the stuff. So the highway department probably just put the tires on.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't present, so I don't know.
I didn't think so. I thought that they No, because it says mounted and balanced, the front too. Tire Doctor did that, but they don't, nothing as big as ours. We had to bring it to Shrewsbury.
All right. Well, it's good that it got done right away, because that's, we don't want even wear and tear.
And the laundry soap, you bought it at Price Chopper because it was on sale.
It was $6.99 for 115 loads. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
unheard of. It's like,
even at Market Basket, it'd be
it
more
was,
than that.
Did you clean them out?
what's that?
Did you clean them
Just
out?
about. I usually leave a couple.
Do they limit you? Do they limit you
No.
there? No?
Mhm. And we have the tax exempt certificate, so
All right,
you
great.
know, keeps Ann happy.
Okay, thanks, Carol. Can I have a motion, please, to accept the treasurer's report? Diane, second. Donna, okay, all in favor? Aye, okay, moving on. Amy, you're up next, director's report outreach.
Okay, let's see what I'm gonna go over.
Want to intersperse them like you usually do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna see what isn't on the, it isn't on the report. I just wanted to talk a little bit about programs if I could. We've had some really good success for when people share their hobbies. I've been trying to encourage in every newsletter, except I apologize, there's not one in here, but every other newsletter showcasing someone that brings a hobby in. And so as a result, and I don't to keep my saying, so Larry Pearson had contacted me and he said, I would like to do a program on the farms of Mendon and beyond. Absolutely. He said as a result of coming to the program we had on horses, Barbara Lawson, one of our senior center neighbors, did a program on horses. And then also many of you came to the Blackstone Valley Animal Shelter program, which spearheaded a lot of volunteers. So great success partnering with these. Want to keep encouraging folks to do so, to bring their hobbies to us and to share them. And people seem to be very interested. So that's one thing. I do also have.
When's that coming up?
Is he doing that?
What's that?
Is he doing that?
Yes, in October.
Oh,
I-
October.
Yeah, I haven't pinned the date down yet.
Okay.
So the second thing, and then I have another senior who, he builds and flies model planes. Recently introduced him to another senior that, has remote control cars. And so we've connected those two. And I said to them, what would you think about having a workshop? And, so they're kind of getting their heads together on that thing. So, really excited about that. But probably more importantly, I need to, just remind everybody that our oldest resident, Dorothy Layton, passed away. She was laid to rest a few weeks ago in her beloved Duxbury. The family has returned their senior cane to us. The next resident has not been told yet. We actually, between January and now, unfortunately, 2 other people had passed. And so the next resident hasn't known, but I also like to leave a little space between someone passing and.
How old is the next?
The next one is 98.
98.
Dottie was 99. She would have been 100 next spring.
Wow.
So the next person is 98. So I will keep you posted on that.
I saw in the paper where Dorothy's son passed away.
Yes, I went to the calling hours yesterday. He was on Mendon Police Force, I guess,
How
for
old was he?
72.
Oh, God.
Yeah, 72, but.
Poor family though, 2 back to back.
Cancer.
What
But
was his first name? Do you remember?
Ed Layton.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he also another senior center neighbor from Providence Street. So, yep, just those 2 things and everything else I can talk about throughout.
Okay, sure. Friends of Mendon Elders. Is that gonna be Carolyn?
It is.
Okay,
Our meeting was on September 8th. At 10:30, we had a presentation by Atria Draper Place, who also provided some wonderful refreshment. We received reports from the Treasurer, Secretary, Council on Aging and Director, the President's report. The Senior Centre and Council on Aging are to participate in the 2nd annual Scarecrow competition. If anybody's available, we're having a meeting at 1 o'clock today. The birthday bash for all October birthdays is to be held on 22nd of October with lunch and entertainment. All are invited. And the Thanks a Bunch brunch is to be held on November 14th at Willowbrook. Again, all will be invited. We had further reports from the Friends Lunch Bunch, Sunshine Group, Travel. Our next scheduled trip is to Yankee Candle on December 12th. The yard sale report, we noted the successes and areas for improvement for 2026. The Oktoberfest raffle baskets will go to the Lions Fair on October 11th. And our own Oktoberfest event on October 25th will include craft and yarn sale, a bake sale, and the basket raffle. The Jingle Bell Fair is to be held on December 6th. Crafters are continuing to make many items for sale. New business. The director was encouraged to accept the offer of a group of volunteers to tidy and organise the basement, which will enable its use by the Friends of Crafts and storage, as well as enabling a more efficient workspace and a rodent deterrent. It was voted that pins are to be purchased to honour our veterans at the breakfast. This is not to exclude also getting gift cards. And our next meeting is October 6th. That is a date change. And the next board meeting will be on September 26th at 10 o'clock.
Okay,
So,
very, very thorough.
Carolyn, I have a question. You wrote something in down here about pins.
the pins are to be purchased to honour the veterans at the breakfast.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't exclude the fact that gift certificates may also be purchased. It is yet to be discussed. Traditionally, we have given gifts. Yes.
That's something that we started to do once Fella and M&M changed their, giving policy. That just had been in recent years.
Okay, any questions on that? No? Okay, food pantry update.
Just want to let you know, we're, Janet Huebner has retired. She has not gone to the great beyond. She's,
Thank God.
I hear that her house is on the market. But where she has retired from the food pantry, Julie King has stepped in and did a fabulous job our first day. So we have a really nice team that works that first Friday. We are trying to encourage more folks who are able-bodied to come to that first Friday, and we've extended the hours if need be. I know our primary volunteer, Karen Roche, is absolutely on board with extending, 12, 1 o'clock. We'll just see how it goes. So this past month, we had 2 new people. And as they come in, I'm giving them a notice explaining why that, we don't have enough volunteers or area to store the food. Also, they can come in and they can choose the items that suit them if they have allergies or whatnot. So trying to, again, integrate them slowly. We, toyed with the idea of doing a second Friday, but I think we've decided we'd rather just elongate our first Friday, and have more people. Instead of ending at 12, end at 1. And if we had to go to 2, we would go to 2. But
The extended hours are they the same, that same day?
same day.
Okay.
Same day.
Are you like doing 15-minute allotments of time?
No, we have 2 parties for every half hour.
Okay,
So because we only have 2 carriages, but that we also have limited space.
yes.
And that seems to work out very nicely. 2 carriages, 2 people, 2 entities, 2 households can shop at the same time. It goes pretty smoothly. A single person household, sometimes they don't take that long. They might only take 15 minutes. So no, it's going very well, and I'm very grateful for Julie to step in.
Hey, capital planning goals.
Yeah, I'm gonna send over to Phil.
Mr. Phil.
Capital planning, we're in the process of formulating a meeting. It got postponed this week, so it's scheduled hopefully next week or the week after. The goal is to get priorities of capital requirements from all the departments, present them to Jeremy and the select board, and then they'll make decisions on how it'll be funded. Amy and I worked on some of her planning, so I suspect that we'll see coming in the new porch with an overhang, which is right now dangerous. And by the way, based on the contractor, very unsafe.
Nobody usually goes out there. We try not to go out there.
Is that over the deck, you
Over
mean?
the deck.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's a new deck and porch.
Yeah, okay.
And then also there's a egress off the second floor, which would connect to that deck platform and then be able to exit the building from upstairs, which would also be a little safer for the people. And then the third item that we're looking at, in addition to the standing items, would be a parking lot. I've reached out to who's the parking guy that?
Harshar?
Yeah, that's what, yeah, Husher. And I met with them first, met with those folks first, and I'm gonna send them some data and hopefully get a quote from them. But that's the big ticket item. That's probably around $200,000. The porch is around, I've forgotten exactly,
60?
60.
It was
The
a
egress
huge amount.
wasn't it? Or
It was
that-
another eight, I thought it was like 83 or something. Was that for the both of them
It might have been
combined?
for the both of them
I mean,
combined.
60,000.
Yes,
Yeah.
60.
Yeah, 63 for the deck here.
63 for the deck and
And then
18 or something.
23 for the egress.
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 Yeah, so was, but mine was less than that.
86 for both.
These are, I mean, if, regardless of what happens with the new center eventually, we still need these things to make the building just functional.
Where is the parking going to go though, unless we get another piece of land?
My discussion with the parking lot people, the acre that was assigned adjacent to the building,
Will all be designated parking?
designated parking. And he felt that the well would not be an issue. And they put paved areas next to wells all the time, consider our houses, and they could carve out that area. But now they're looking at who would be the prime in that, because they have to have somebody do the excavation. That's the toss-up question, right?
Is the egress from the door down, how many stairs is that gonna be?
Well, it's gonna go to the first floor. It's gonna go to a landing to the porch.
Okay, well, we need one of those riding things to get down there then?
Not planned. It's an outdoor access, so it's not planned a riding thing. So it could be an issue. Haven't put it in the spec. But it's an emergency evacuation. So in a case of emergency, maybe we figure out how somebody helps somebody down the steps.
The parking lot isn't going to encompass any of that land that was purchased, you know, for us to make an extension.
That's the land that I mentioned to the to the paving company.
It's that extra acre that's like diamond shaped.
Yeah. Because there's no space to put any more space for it.
Right.
They walked the place and they said you could get a few more spots maybe down bottom. But, and then that'll bring up a question to the town of either verifying that acre was there or it's not. And verifying that it's not used as part of an expansion, potentially in place, but we don't know the status of that.
And I guess I just wanted to a side note, because it's such a big project, I believe you have to go out to bid.
Oh, sure.
So this is a preliminary, like,
Jeremy asked me to get some,
okay, so
due
you,
diligence, I wanted to get a bid from a company.
okay, great.
And actually, the project size for the porch would go out to bid as well.
Right.
But first, we need to allocate some funds.
Okay, so just to get a ballpark.
Yeah, a solid ballpark,
Yes, okay.
not just the,
And where's that money going to come from? Do the voters have to vote for it?
well, the town will make the decision. I would recommend we don't ask voters to vote for anything. It should be handled out of the free cash or some other cap.
So the voters would have to vote on free cash.
Free cash.
So it wouldn't have to be an override.
Yes.
It wouldn't have to be a debt exclusion, but voters would still have
That's
to
correct.
vote on it. So
Correct.
the select board can make the recommendation and put it on the warrant, but it's ultimately up to the voters.
Yeah, the voters do, I'm sorry, they do vote on free cash.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not a new ask for more money.
Right.
Tax rate.
Right.
So.
That's kind of scary, isn't it? Because when people say if you're doing all these parking lots and new deck and roof and egress and the whole bit, they're gonna say you're doing all this, but so why do you need a new center?
I was
Well, part of it,
thinking the same.
well, part of it could be that we have an expansion of our current center, right? That way, we're not moving to another location. We're not surrendering the building. We're making enhancements on this building in the hopes that perhaps we could put an extension on,
Annex.
an annex on the building.
Interesting enough, to that point, I'd like to ask the co-chairs to draft an email or a letter to Jeremy and the select board requesting a presentation at our next monthly meeting to tell us what the status of the path forward is. We are driving quite blind here. It's been 11 months.
Abacus, where is Abacus at?
It's been 11 months. And I'd like a detailed status to talk about progress in 11 months, path forward, and what is the future projection look like?
Well, I think where you have been instrumental in this, Earl and I have not been with those steps, and even though I'm on the committee, I've only been to one meeting, and because
I can put some stuff
put
together.
some stuff together, give us an outline.
Right.
We'll put the finishing touch on it, send it back to you to make sure it's covering every point that you want us to make.
And the presentation would be to request a select board member and Jeremy to present.
You meet on Wednesdays, what, 2 Wednesdays a month, is it?
We do, yes. So it's typically the first and third Wednesday. And yeah, the select board hasn't had a presentation about the abacus study. So Jeremy has mentioned it as part of his TA report periodically, but it's more that it's still in progress. So I think I don't think that study has finished
Not finished.
yet.
So should we hope for November, maybe November, the first meeting in November, would that
I'm
be?
thinking October. I'd like to know where we're going.
But she's not, they're
Oh,
not,
I'm just saying that, well, I mean, I think it's reasonable to ask for an update, for a formal update, because,
The update thing could be that we don't have the report in yet, but the report will be in on such and such date.
oh, all right.
Here's what the town is, here's what our feelings are, here's what our thinking is,
right.
here's our direction to the architect.
I mean, yeah, and so, I mean, it could be a request, and if Jeremy's not able to do it at the next meeting, perhaps he can suggest a date when it would work for him. But I know, yeah, it's
All right.
been ongoing.
It's been an ongoing process, but it seems to be closed right now, so we need to open up.
All right, so we would be looking at October 8th? No, not October 1st? No.
Whatever our meeting is,
This meeting, I
This
think he means this meeting.
have them present here.
Oh, I misunderstood you. I thought you wanted us to go to the select board's meeting.
No, have them present here as an agenda item for our next meeting. We'd have a presentation.
Right, that's
Jeremy
the
said.
That's the 8th.
I think gives them approximately a month to pull together.
And I mean, it may be that Jeremy wants to have it be on the select board agenda first, but we can start the ball rolling.
All right, you write down kind of like an outline.
Outline, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earl and I'll put our heads together and polish it up a little bit and send the request to Jeremy. CC the select board or just Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, okay. We got it. We'll do that.
Okay, and I just want to keep it rolling.
All right,
So that's about capital stuff that I know.
all right.
And Amy, the other thing is on the capital report, we added on the current data that the capital planning committee has, there's just TBD and no cost associated with the center, new build or expansion, whatever it may be. We concluded and suggested that we have a given number. We should have that number there. At least there's size and scope. We don't know what the new number is going to be, but at least there's something. We know it's bigger than the red box. So, and we should also begin to target dates. Try to do something that everything just TBD. Because we should have a request that has a date, department. And then that becomes something that the town responds to and updates. And I think there should be dates and stuff going in. I think we did that. I think we did that here. But we'll see. That's all I have. Any other capital items you want?
Does a new van come on the capital plan?
Oh, yes, it does. There's a projected date for 2028, I believe.
I don't know where I heard this, and maybe I dreamt it, but that some small towns have gotten companies,
Yeah, Blackstone does.
Yeah,
just
the
put a
sponsor
wrap on
there.
their van and been paying for new vans as a result.
I think Uxbridge did too. I know Blackstone has, because it has on the back of it,
Sponsored.
donated, sponsored by whatever.
Something to look into, I think.
Not a bad idea. Good idea.
I didn't dream it.
Imperial.
And I don't know the other status we'll look at is I don't know if you've heard is from a capital planning standpoint, the car that was coming out of fire department going to the senior center to do one-person rides.
Right, and I heard that it may not be viable.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why. There's some issues with that vehicle. I don't know how old it is. I don't know how many miles are on it.
So a second vehicle is not in the offering.
Not at this time, but so that's something we should be asking Jeremy too.
Yeah, interesting enough, though, that just changes the length of service of the van. If you had a secondary vehicle, you could extend it a year. Secondary vehicle's already paid for. So you'd offset the cost of potentially getting a van by a year. So
But we'd also need another driver, which I think we need another driver anyway. We really do. Going to have Wayne, he's going to be off in December.
Oh, yeah, off in December, yes.
You know, if you're talking about, especially if we ever get that second vehicle.
Give it a 2 year.
Oh, well, that, boy, that's good.
It's very generous.
Usually it's 2 weeks, but two, yeah.
Conclusion on the electric car. We had talked about that at one time, like, say, to take one individual person to a medical appointment. Was
You
that-
know, it is available to us. However, it's difficult getting in and out of, and then having a walker.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all. I was behind Dan Byer last week. He uses it to do his errands for the beach and all that. But it is available to us should we need it.
it's an accessibility issue. Can't get in and out.
And also, yeah, charging issue too.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for capital.
Did you get it all down, Ian? I know we kind of were talking fast.
I did. I think I got the most important stuff
Okay.
down. I mean.
Well, always ask us
We've been
to slow down.
digressing a little. That was.
I know, ask us to
Paragraph would be
stop.
just big if I put it all in
We
there.
always digress.
All right. Building maintenance updates, Amy?
Yeah, so in the future, I'm just gonna call it maintenance updates because, under that would be the new tires, alignment and so forth. But otherwise, the water situation, I just got, I'm trying to pin Dan Byer with the water department down. I just got an email response from him today saying that, that he did get the notice that we can start using the water again, that they have lifted the bottled water order. So that's a good thing. And thank you for Donna for. We can start, yeah, like Donna, I have notes in the freezer, only use bottled water for the ice, and Donna said, is this still the case? And, he had to do some digging with Mass DEP, but he did get back to me with an answer, so that's good. The stoves have been looked at by Frank's Hardware. We've had them come out twice. I wasn't happy with their first assessment, but the gist of it is they're almost 30, they've got to be over about 30 years old. The parts that are available, aren't available, excuse me, for the control. If we can keep the temperature, where we need it by putting it up to 225 as opposed to 200, I used a thermometer to double check it, then that's good. I mean, and the parts are expensive. One part is, I want to say $180, but then it needs a companion part, which isn't available. So, but we're happy with the stoves.
Well, the thing won't, you can't close the thing.
Yeah.
Right, am I right? I mean, the
Yeah.
dishwasher is.
Yeah, if we want to look into a new one, to my knowledge, we've never had a new one. That was Mary Ann
all the originals.
Hopkins donated that when she upgraded her kitchen. I'd be fine with that if we want to come up with funds for a new dishwasher.
Well, I'm thinking,
On the
maybe,
stoves, I didn't know there was a problem. You're having to set the temperatures
so-
higher to maintain a.
No, so
Okay.
what was happening was the food was not coming out hot enough. And we had to take the temperatures before.
It has to be a certain temperature to be served.
Yeah. And so I brought my thermometer in from home and we found that the right oven was not maintaining 200. It was like 175. Granted, the first time Frank's came in, they said they were testing it to 350 and they could get it to 350. But we said, we don't need it that high. We need it, and so maybe, I know one time we had some bread that did get slightly overcooked, and it could be true that maybe when it hits 350 or 375, it can maintain that, but it can't maintain the 200. So we put it at 225. Sean has put a nice note out there. And the temperature seems to be, where it should be when it comes out. So just speaking of which, the food and temperature, we do have a training coming up for Tri-Valley for workers. We have a few new workers coming on board too. So
Can you ask?
Okay.
I know we have 2 ovens. When you have a large event, those ovens don't come up to the proper temperature, so it doesn't get, the food doesn't get cooked, i.e. French fries. with all those french fries and it was just, they were in there for 45 minutes and they were still not cooked.
You know,
Can we consider, or would the town consider purchasing one new oven?
I think we have to think about that. I hate to respectfully disagree, but I tested out French fries.
No, I know you did.
But you're making a
mentioned
lot,
that. The problem is that it's just not one tray of french fries. We had 6 or 7 trays of french fries and they didn't cook. And it was, then you sit there and look at, well, do the hamburgers get cold or do we serve cold french fries?
I think we need to look at them again. And I mean, granted, if we need to buy new ovens, but I will say this, we're not in the business of cooking food generally there. Most food comes in is catered, so we can certainly look at that too.
Then maybe we just need to look at catering the entire thing.
I don't
so
know
we
if the Friends would
have
want to
get
consider,
bucks.
donating, funds towards a.
I'm thinking it's a town maintenance expense.
Yeah.
I think the town should be presented with a bill for new ovens, projected in the capital plan. May not be this year, maybe next year, maybe 3 years, whatever it
But
is,
at least we know.
but it should be part of the plan.
not getting a new center, it's like a death of 1,000 cuts.
Yes.
Because we put so many things off. And not only that, now you're gonna have to fit whatever you buy into the space that's available there, or else you start making more remodeling. It's,
The more we do, so I think that Diane said, I was thinking the same thing, that the voters are gonna say, well, you spent all this money, new stoves, new this, new deck, why do you need a new building?
Because we don't have
Understand, you said,
We don't have room. Amy is limited.
Yeah.
With the number of people that she can accept into.
we know that,
programs.
Right.
we all understand that.
Even for functions,
Yes.
it's still
The
dictated
dishwasher.
by the fire
Oh, it is.
Dishwasher.
I'm not saying not to do it, I'm just thinking like,
can't.
it's too bad that we didn't get our center, because this is the outcome. And I say death by 1,000 cuts, because it's 20,000 here, it's 5,000 here, and it's all gonna add up. And like you say, they're gonna say, well, you just spent all this money on your center, why did you do that? Because we had to.
Yeah, a lot of it was safety, it's not just for, convenience, it's
You know,
safety.
This is what I think. I think an article should go into the local paper that we get, saying that there's safety issues at the senior center. Because people aren't gonna know that, only people who go there.
Right.
Right. And then
Saying,
if we do that, then they'll close the center.
well, they're not gonna close it because they just won't allow access to the porch, which we really don't use anyway.
Interesting.
You need a
That's
second
been going
means
on
of
for several
egress.
years.
So it is a safety.
Well, just,
We don't want to make the safety issues too visible because I think they're a real issue.
well, I don't wanna be responsible
We
if
don't want
somebody
them to
burns to
close us
death.
down.
I'm on record for saying that.
Well, anyway,
Well, there are safety issues that have been going on quite a while.
And I don't think anybody was aware of them, correct, until you had somebody come in. I mean, you knew that the porch didn't look good, but little did you know that the joists underneath are not the proper size. So, I think there's,
Or where it's a safety issue, is it better to just tear it down?
but you need a second egress. Somehow we have to get out. Somehow we have to.
I think we're careful. We're going
So
to.
that's an idea too.
Let's see
Having
what
a
we
deck,
can.
just having an egress with a ramp and you're not having a deck.
I think it's worth getting the word out. I like the idea of putting an article. It was built by volunteers. So, and apparently
Right.
there were no plans.
Codes were made.
Right. Or it's not even clear that there were like plans approved for all of it. So like,
Right, I doubt there was.
right, so I think the public should know that this is what happens when it's a volunteer project that is not like, it was never built as a municipal building. It was built as a building by,
Like a house.
like a house.
It was built by volunteers in town who
We just- I mean,
volunteered.
Wonderful that they were
electrical,
able to do
plumbing,
that, but right,
whatever.
this was already, 30 years ago, and I think whenever, I think a lot of the public just assumes that any of the fixes are gonna be a quick fix, so I think it's worth saying that like, even the parking lot's gonna be over 200,000. Because I know I saw someone on one of the Facebook chats saying, well, can't we just give the senior center $40,000 to make upgrades? I'm like, $40,000?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
We're playing it
what
too,
would
Lorraine.
that get? That, I
You
mean,
gotta
that
paint
would
the
get-
lines on the parking lot.
I think people just don't have a sense of what the scale is because they're used to doing like, you know, small renovations in a home.
Mhm.
And
Except for the egress issue that we're talking about, wouldn't it be more important to replace the oven and the dishwasher now before we start spending $80,000 for a deck that we may not need?
Well, we can't have anybody stuck in there that can't get
No,
out.
I'm saying the
The money now,
egress without the deck.
that's what Amy just said.
Yeah, okay. And then focus more on replacing those appliances, which I think
Because the
are more
people who work
immediate.
in the kitchen, they need appliances that work.
Well,
Seriously.
you need a good dishwasher because you're gonna be eating off that next time. And if the thing doesn't work, you have to pour the soap in, can't shut the door.
Right.
Yeah. And but you volunteer.
If you can't close the
Yeah.
door, the water's gonna be running.
Well, how about the new
No,
one?
she means the
little-
the door.
The
for the-
door.
Oh.
So a dishwasher does a rinse cycle
Right.
before it gets into the wash cycle. So what's happening is all the soap is being used up on that first rinse cycle.
So when the water gets hot, it's not. the
But they
soap's
must have the ones, Amy, now that a lot of the other centers had that we visited, that they do the dishes in like, is it like 8 minutes or
They're-
something?
Yeah,
like that?
they're industrial.
They're commercial ones.
Yeah,
But you can also have those that are countertop level. So you're not bending down either. It's countertop level and you just put it all through. But then you're sort of looking at stainless steel countertops and it works.
To your point, Arthur, in your own home, if something doesn't work and you need it, you replace it. Or if it's almost broken, you plan to fix it. replace it. I think we should treat everything at the center the same way. If it doesn't work, replace it.
how about if we ask people to give us like a wish list? People who work in the kitchen, give us a wish list of what will make your life easier there.
I think it's good.
Well, think about it for the next meeting then, or before then. Give it to Amy and she'll talk to us and we'll talk to the friends too. Because we're all in this together.
But if the tariffs persist, all appliances are gonna be costing. a lot more
Prices
to-
have already started to increase.
Well,
Well,
the
and
Supreme
the-
Court is supposed to make a decision. They always decide in Trump's favor.
On the previous point about it being made by volunteers, what was the population in Mendon when that building was built?
right, we could look
Nope,
that up.
nope.
Definitely it was smaller, yeah.
Definitely, no,
There were probably about 500 seniors at that time.
it was small.
Because when I came, there were 608, I mean, per that census, and that was built in 1991. I came 10, 15, so.
91, it was built earlier than that. Wasn't built in the 70s? Really?
What's your population?
No, it wouldn't be the 70s because then that would be
Senior
50 years.
population was about
50 years old.
1700.
Because I
This is
remember,
2025.
because I was in high school and I remember it being built,
The center or the addition?
not the addition,
Oh, I
the
thought you were
center, the original center.
1991. I know your uncle.
It's in
was
the-
Right.
involved.
Right.
30-something years, because we were gonna do,
Yeah, and I was married in 91, and that's not 34 years ago.
don't ask me about the math.
No, but I was married in 91, and it was built in 91, and I've been married 34 years.
All right, so
That's
it's
fine.
fine, okay.
How many years?
34?
Well, I know we were doing the 30th anniversary and Laura was still here. It was gonna be a pearl.
That's right. It was gonna be the Pearl.
And Laura,
I think it's
2 years of Melissa, 1 year of Julie.
So you're probably spot on. Okay, can we move on then? Summer programs follow-up.
No, I haven't done all the.
Oh, you haven't done more? Okay,
So,
sorry.
We have contacted, twice we've contacted Dewey, to do
Pest
pest
control.
control to come out, for the mice to plug up any holes that they seem to find. We did, last winter between Wayne and I, we did find 4 mice, which we've been finding, we found the remnants. But, so hopefully that will take care of that. That's gonna be $150 for them to come out and do that. The chairs were ordered, as I said, earlier, that was with the money for, put into our fiscal year budget.
A lot had arms too, which was
wait a
good.
minute.
Yeah, so most had arms. I only got 5 without.
What was that? No, I just,
Dewey,
I know, I got Dewey.
okay, chairs.
Chairs.
Oh,
Chairs. The
yep.
chairs were ordered and that was
Oh,
paid
yeah.
for under our, through our budget, through the miscellaneous
Yeah.
part of our budget.
Yep.
So that was that. Good. All right, so now summer programs.
Yeah.
Just one last thing on
Oh,
building.
yes.
Is the cleaning program started?
Oh, yeah, that's, I was trying to read that last one. Yeah, it started this month. We
Are you
have.
happy with it?
Oh, well, you know what? No, he was my buddy during the pandemic. He was the only other building, only other person that came in our building. Janet, myself, and Steve Hanley. He's excellent. He works for the schools. He works many
This
town
is a
buildings.
cleaning program.
Yep.
And
Just-
what's the
Is
frequency
this
on
from the
that?
town?
Twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah, twice a week, $65
Oh.
each time.
Does the town pay for it?
It's in our budget.
It's in our budget.
It's in
Okay,
our
so it
budget.
comes out of our money.
Yeah. So that was put under our, what do we call it? We call it, forgive me.
That's okay.
Well, this isn't somebody that works for the
Contract
town,
services.
for the whole town.
Yep.
We're doing,
He works for the whole town. And so right now Jeremy is looking into his services and he's gonna be probably going out for bids for, perhaps an overview for the whole town. Right now, we're all paying it separately in our budgets
okay.
to the same person. Again, for us, it's $65 a
What
night.
kind of cleaning are they doing? What are they?
He's doing the bathrooms, he's washing the
Per
floors.
week or each time he does it? $65.
Each time, twice a week. Doing the bathrooms, floors, the first time he came in, the next day, I looked at the floor, kitchen floor looked really, really good. That grout is just, it is what it is, but, he noticed that he needed to wash the walls in the men's room, probably possibly did the women's room too, but, he's doing, occasionally he will do what Carolyn wants, windowsills and baseboards, which is something I've often had kids do from BVT. We didn't have a lot of kids from BVT or Nipmuc this last year that, helped us out. But anyway, so yes, he has started. Steve Hanley twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. He comes in after the evening groups. We have more groups on Tuesdays than most other nights, so he comes in more.
And Amy, I wanted to jump in here. I know you said about getting a barrier around the admin. And I want to throw out that in the possibility of making a new office on the upper level, and then Shauna could move into your existing office, which would again increase the space we have in that room. We're having construction anyway.
Where would it go upstairs though?
They'd go where the computers are at the
You
moment.
had mentioned that before to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's great light there for Amy to have an office there. It would give her the privacy she needs. It would give Shauna the privacy she needs. And then the computer area just move further into the room.
Well, you'd have to have it so that it's almost soundproof because we play games up there every day. There's games up there and we can get a little enthusiastic.
There is sound attenuation insulation that can be made as part of the statement of work.
I mean, it's not like the lower level
Better
is
than
quiet in
today.
any way, shape.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's
I
very
just
small
wanted to
upstairs.
put that out as an
I
option.
wouldn't think Amy would want to be separated from the main floor though.
I will tell you, some days I am. I would like to. I work late nights because I don't get any privacy till after the center closes. I said to my husband, I'd almost like to work 12 to 8 because, there's a lot of what I do. I need working with numbers.
Well,
doing-
when we have everybody on staff and trained, we could look at staggered hours.
And
As long as there's coverage, like if you're on vacation, okay, then you
And
get the hours.
we have our senior workers too, and we haven't, since we filled the position, the administrative assistant position full-time, we haven't needed it as much, but we could start to call upon them again. A lot of the seniors are very well versed in what we do,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
they could almost be an assistant to the assistant.
Because with, the loss of vacation time that you didn't take because you were unable to take it because we didn't have an administrative assistant and we had a lot of things going on. I mean, this is a way of you not working unpaid overtime.
Sure.
That's how I look at it.
Sure.
Because she was with me last night. We went to Earl's wife's memorial and we we dropped her off at the senior center after that, and she was working again. I mean, we've got to cut back on that. We have to cut back on that. You're entitled to have a regular home life like it.
But I do come in later.
Yeah, but we could maybe talk about staggered hours on, even if it's just certain days.
Yeah, a new person has been talking about, she hasn't been appointed yet, but she was concerned about, the hours flexibility and, absolutely willing to do something.
Especially like on a Tuesday when we have meetings on Wednesdays. I mean, you're getting all this paperwork put together, stapling it, which, maybe when you have your assistant, she can do some of this for you.
Yes.
Just trying to free you up a little bit.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
So, summer programs.
Yep.
I would like to say, I think that, and I mentioned it at the Friends meeting the other day, the cookout went very well. I think we had a fair number of volunteers. I think the Sipleys did a great job. No disrespect, but they did.
Oh, no,
a great job on that.
We're happy to step aside.
Oh, it's a rotation.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
You've got at least 6 years to go
Yeah.
before we start rotating.
6 years in a cane and a wheelchair.
And I said, I was pleased too. I cut back the amount of, because I don't always think in senior terms in terms of appetite. So I cut back because I'd say 1 hot dog and 1 hamburger for everybody. And that's not entirely true.
Right.
So I was pleased that we didn't have a lot left over. So that was that. I don't know if anybody else would like to speak about the cardboard boat race. Again, I'm thrilled that,
Well, I can speak about it. I spoke
COA.
about it at the Friends
Put together.
meeting. It was an absolutely wonderful event. We had a great time building the boat, working on it. It was really a wonderful collaborated effort between the Friends and the COA. And we had a core group that built it, put it together and painted it, and all our ideas. Everybody had ideas to add to it. Phil's granddaughter came. She's got a steady hand, so she
Good job.
she did the lettering on the boat because all of us were like, spaz. But yeah, it was nice. I have to say I was a little disappointed that we didn't win anything because I just thought we had a beautiful boat and all of our hats and T-shirts and people coming. The spirit, I thought we were like the most spirited of all of the groups. I mean, but it was a wonderful event. 29 boats was unbelievable,
Where did you finally decide to start?
Oh, don't even go down that road. Between Jeremy and John Dudley, they have decided they're going to store it on an Inman Street. There's something
Hill.
on Inman Hill. We're still waiting for the pickup to take place. But it's taken apart, right? I mean, right now it's on its side.
We still can get the van.
They can still get
Yeah,
the
no,
van
absolutely,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, if we put it on its side, put it on rollers.
Yeah, we took some of the smokestacks off and all that. But, I just appreciate everybody who came out to cheer us on and, all the hard work.
The other thing that I noticed to add to that is we had other people that are not always active beyond what they do, really active.
Yes.
And that goes with the theme of how do we get more people involved?
Mhm.
People like to have a purpose,
Right, absolutely.
it's purposeful work.
And that goes into another piece they'll talk in open session about programs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought we had people stepping up. Man, it looks pretty solid.
I can't tell you the number of people who came around that I didn't even know them from town. And they said, oh my God, look at this boat. It's so beautiful. It's like, it was so colorful. It was a floating casino. I mean, but it is what it is. And we had fun doing it. And
We won in that we formed a great team.
yes, I agree with you on that. I saw your comments on that.
Absolutely.
Yes. And people who helped get it into the water and
Yeah.
people who rowed.
Yeah.
We had never rowed together, so
Yeah.
ROWED, so we did okay considering. But anyway, yep. So that's the boat race. Senior tea, Amy?
I think the senior tea, again, another collaboration, a successful collaboration between the Friends and the COA. We had a fair amount of volunteers. Earl, I loved Earl's comment about, I think you were astonished. The group was just so
Lively.
lively. That's the right word. They just chatted throughout the whole.
Dodgy affair at all.
Oh, good.
They really seemed to enjoy themselves. My one comment would be, I think we almost had too much food. I think we need to, cut back on maybe some of the sandwiches. But no, I think otherwise the punch, the tea, the coffee, I mean, the pie, people seem to enjoy everything. And, sorry, it was kind,
Great picture on the back.
yeah, a little blurry. I was disappointed it was a little blurry, but, nice group this past year.
Mm.
A larger group than, the prior year, so.
They were
I-
so busy talking and enjoying themselves that they didn't eat that much.
Well, no, I think they did, and they were, but I just think that there was a lot. Like with me, it's hard to learn to kind of like, when to scale back on the amount of food we have. Seniors, and forgive me for saying that, but seniors don't necessarily eat as much as a, 40-year-old,
True. Some seniors.
Yes, okay. But it was a very nice event. Dottie did a beautiful job with, she selected, among all the tablecloths we had, we thought we might need to buy something new, but among all that we had, she selected ones that she liked, and she had purchased the nice, paper goods, very pretty floral design. It was very pretty, very pretty.
I appreciated the division of labor that we had set up for.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah,
Donna
set up
came
crew and, the working crew and then people to clean up after.
Too much for one person.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
It was much better.
I'm glad. I thought so. I just did the setup. I think Diane and I did the setup, yeah.
And Karen as well. Karen did the
Oh.
flowers. Karen.
Oh, okay. That was that day. That was that morning though.
That was-
Because I only cut them that
You
morning.
were in Friday too, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in
Yes,
Friday.
you
too.
were.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
But I will say this, I think it was the earliest I've ever left on a senior tea day. Sometimes I'm there till like 6 o'clock just making sure, because
Oh, yeah.
you knew, I loved it. The kitchen, you knew where things went, and the dishes, the teacups, everything was already packed, put away. It's nice.
That's great. All right, ice cream social?
So it's always a nice, easy event, easy breezy event. Magician, I think people enjoyed him. I heard laughter, I heard clapping, I heard some off-color jokes. But it was nice, and it was a cultural council grant, so we did not have to pay for that. I really applaud that magician. He sought out, I think, maybe four other towns, and he did one grant for all of us, which was great. And I have known that man. He's a transportation coordinator from Blackstone. I've known him for probably 18 years. I never had a clue that he was a magician on the side. So it was good. It was fun.
Okay, pen pal update. Fall
So
225.
yes, I went with our pen pal coordinator, Cheryl Lemon. I went with her yesterday to Whitensville Christian School to meet the principal and the teachers. This is the principal for the K through 5th grade. And as it stands now, we are being paired with two classes. 4th grade class with 15 students and a 5th grade class with 16 students. There was another 4th grade class of 15 but they're doing their own thing. And there's another 5th grade class that already is participating in a pen pal program. So I think we walked away from our meeting feeling very comfortable how it's going to be starting, later this month. We'll be getting letters from the students. We will be, Peg, Cheryl asked if you and I could meet with her and match, the
Be happy to
students
do that.
with their interests, with the seniors and their interests. So our final cap, the number of pen pals we have is 34 and we only need 31. So she had a couple people that were on the fence, so I think we're going to be able to pare it down to that 31, and really looking forward to it. They did want to offer a little something different this year. It took them our whole meeting for them to wrap their brains around the pen name, because the pen pal program that they're currently doing, they use their own names. And so I think by the end of our meeting, they're on board with that. And they also wanted to know about inviting our pen pals over to some of their performances discreetly, so as people don't, necessarily meet their pen pal, but they have a holiday program, they have, other things. And we said, sure. And we did talk about just continuing and maybe doing an ice cream social would probably be there at the end of the year. Instead of the pen pal, the pizza program, we would stay with that. Worked out really nicely this past spring. So I'm looking forward to it. Cheryl's very comfortable. Certainly she, I said if she ever needed, I'm sure we could, if she ever needed someone to, jump in for her to do running of the lens too. It's only going to be twice a month. We, say she was going away on vacation. So But yeah, really looking forward to getting it back up and running.
All right. Emotional support animals.
Okay, I'm gonna send some of these everybody's way.
Pass them around.
Yeah, could you? Those people on this. This is something that we brought to the administration's attention a year ago. When I work on an agenda, what I do is I look at last month's agenda and I look at last year's agenda for the current month. And so we had brought this up a year ago, and it sounds like it was a little bit more kind of involved than Jeremy had thought. But this is what came out of his findings.
Bottom line is no.
Right. The bottom line is we're not required. It says we are not required to permit emotional service animals within public buildings. It is the policy of the town not to allow emotional service animals in order to provide the remainder of the public with a safe and accessible public space.
That's fine.
But no, if say somebody had an animal, they say it was eyesight problem.
Sure.
Well, service Yeah, service animals do have to.
Yeah. So I have given a copy of this to the person in question that last year had had come about, and they were very gracious in accepting it. They said, I just felt I needed to ask, and so.
Cultural Council grants?
So
Volunteer appreciation.
yeah, so just still looking for your suggestions and themes. I did one thing that I kind of had a mind for, and I think it was Carolyn that had given me the inspiration, was the Women of 76, because it's the nation's anniversary next year. The actress that we had previously used no longer accepted or would write Cultural Council grants. Well, I have another one that has contacted me, Rita Parisi, that does. And so she's writing a grant for the Women of 76. And it's going to be a performance. Peg and I talked about it, and she reminded me that March is Women's Month. So we chose March 11th. 2 o'clock. March 11th happens to be our COA meeting. And that we had been doing that with our prior actors. We do it in the afternoon.
March 11th for volunteer appreciation.
No,
Going so
no.
fast here. I don't
This is
know.
the Cultural Council.
Cultural Council grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's two separate things. We don't have anything for volunteer appreciation yet. We don't have anything, so.
So what's March 11th?
That's Women of 76. And there may be, if the grant doesn't cover her entire fee, and her grants range from like $4 to $550 or something like that. If the grant doesn't cover the whole thing, we may be responsible for between $100 and $200. I'm not sure. Sometimes the Cultural Council grant will pay for the whole thing. Sometimes they'll pay for a portion. It depends. And I'm not sure. I've never been on their committee, so I don't know what their parameters are. But again, looking for themes. Before you guys did the casino theme, I thought the casino thing would be a great fun for volunteer appreciation.
Got decorations.
Yeah. And then when we were up at the field the other day, Rock the Block, and we had your weights, I said, oh, weights, seniors. The seniors are the strength of the center. I mean, maybe there's something we could capitalize on that. I don't know.
They were just 1 pound weights, one in for each hand kind of thing, but
Do
yeah.
you have something imprinted, we love our seniors, or we love our volunteers, or I don't know. I don't know what you would put together for entertainment, but with that, but just.
For weights, well, casino, you would have, we'd bring
Casino would
people
be
in.
one thing, and the strength of the volunteers, volunteers.
Agility, we're all here.
We're all here together.
Together, we're active.
But then what would you use for either your guest speaker, or it doesn't have to be music, it could be something else, but we have till October 15th. So please, when you, nothing else to do.
Put on a Jack LaLanne video.
Yeah. So, but at least, what I like to do is I like to get 2 grants into the support 2 grants to the Cultural Council. The money is there, hopefully, and hopefully it'll be there in the future years. But, you don't know unless you ask. And I never want to be more greedy than the two, because then look at this year, they sent one our way, which was nice. And that happens. That, I think last year it happened too. There was a musical group, the trio.
Yep.
They were very good. That the cultural grants, they approved and they sent them to us as a venue. So.
All right, just to clarify then, we're not talking about this volunteer appreciation because that has nothing to do with the cultural council. You're talking about two other activities.
No, I oftentimes will use a cultural council grant for a volunteer appreciation.
But my objection to that would be that volunteer appreciation is a limited number of people, whereas the cultural council grant, we open it up to everybody. Am I missing something there?
You could do both. So all these years, I would say all these years, our entertainment for our volunteer appreciation has come through them. And then part with our state grant, state grant would cover food.
Well, I know the state grant because that's why it has to be limited to people who volunteer for the senior center, not necessarily the Friends. We had to
Not
make
for
that
fundraising,
distinction.
Not for fundraising, yes.
You can tie it into with nutrition and health, building strength through nutrition and health, and maybe have a speaker or someone come in.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
absolutely.
I guess hot fudge sundaes are out. Karen?
Nutritious. I have a question, Amy. Is this where you would apply for a grant for the exercise program, or is that something separate?
Yeah, it's cultural council, so it's something to do with the arts. One time we had an artist that instructor that we did a 6 or 8 week acrylic painting class that paid for a portion of her, paid for the materials and a portion of her fee, but then the seniors paid another, say, a $25 nominal fee. But no, so it's something to do with the arts.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Well, think about the volunteer appreciation, and maybe at next month's meeting, we can form a committee. I mean, we'll have plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of.
And what month did you want to have it in? It's up to you.
This year it worked out so much better in May.
And you pick it. Okay, so you want May?
April is volunteer month, but it's I think we
No
did that
problem.
last year and it was like, we weren't ready for
We
it.
have to
because
do what works
budget
for you.
Budget season is March.
If you didn't use the cultural council money for the volunteer appreciation, would you then be able to open the volunteers up to those people in the Friends?
I think it's the grant.
It's the state grant.
The state grant prohibits it.
Clearly.
That's our
states.
problem. We weren't aware of that right away, but then it was made known to us.
They have a lot of, if we want to use any state funding for it, which
And we do for that event because it pays for almost all of it.
except for the entertainers. So.
Well, I know, and that's pricey, I know. And I really would have liked to have seen more people attend because there were a lot of volunteers that we wanted them to come, but for some reason they don't want to be.
Or it could be the time. It could be that it's during the day, or I don't know. But I will say this year we had such positive feedback because of that theme. We really, really did. People enjoyed it. We have had the same, that entertainer, we've had him a number of times and he's been very versatile. I remember Carol dancing or playing instruments during one of his program when we did a luau theme one year, an island theme, but so.
We'll give it some thought.
Give it some
and
thought.
we'll talk.
I mean, so the 50s theme was so popular, but not everybody could go to that. What if you did something for the cultural council grant, but to be more open to the public?
The 50s theme?
Yeah, the 50s theme, since it was so
But-
popular and you've got the.
We've got the decorations already.
Yeah, I'd say we wait a year or so, I think the island theme was really good. The luau theme, we still have we have the grass skirts, we have the tablecloths, we have a lot of the supplies, the leis. I mean, everything's been in nice, bins downstairs. So that's a possibility too. It could be time to bring that back for the public, maybe not necessarily.
Right.
But actually, that's a really, I like.
Right, well, because you've got, the one sort of the volunteer appreciation
Right.
pack, and that's a subset, but then a lot of people were not able to attend that, and
Yeah.
so, I don't know.
And it's kind of a ready-made theme too.
Right.
I just
It
wouldn't
was a
do
lot
it.
of fun.
I wouldn't do it back-to-back years, but
Right.
that's good.
All right. We'll think about it for next month. Senior of the Year celebration.
So I just had a meeting with Diane Harper is our coordinator or the coordinator for the Lions, and just had a meeting yesterday. I gave her the update. I mean, I'm a little disappointed. We have I'm not, you guys, I'm not disappointed at all. You've been wonderful at signing up. But I heard that there's a historical society program.
There is, it's a scavenger hunt.
And I'm very disappointed because that is our, I hate to say it, that is our day. Last year, we deviated from that because Ann Mazar was expecting a grandchild and we held it earlier, but yeah, the Historical Society,
It's 9 to 12.
yeah, and our event is 11:30 to 1 usually. So we have 40 people. That doesn't include, I've only heard from one select board member. Thank you. I will reach out to them. I've, reached out to, right at the beginning, when you made the selection, I reached out to Brian Murray and Ryan Fatman. And
What about the other guy, Auchinclaw?
I haven't yet. I know last year I had a really difficult time. He has like this firewall of trying to get through. And I did email Jeremy earlier and I was waiting for some feedback. I'm gonna probably just start making phone calls because I was waiting for feedback. Is this appropriate to do or not do? Because it's traditionally been our
Just the local one?
and I know Jake Auchinclaw is probably very busy, but I was kind of waiting for the,
You haven't heard from Brian Murray?
no, I have, yeah, right away. And Ryan Fatman.
Oh, yeah, Ryan. I was trying to, I thought you were saying Brian. I said, that doesn't sound
Brian
right.
Murray, Ryan Fatman.
Yeah, Ryan.
My mouth is getting a little dry, but so the cake has been ordered. The plaque's been done. We have a driver for that day, should people want, and that's, another thing I was kind of waiting on in the newsletter. There was a lot of things holding this up this year was the flu clinic, waiting on an answer about, could a person drive or not for a different event. And anyway, so it's coming together, but hopefully I'll do an email blast. I get a really good response to email blasts. Like people have come down to it's what last night you were talking about the, what is your favorite plant in the garden? And I'm being facetious. The milkweed. So I sent out an email about the milkweed. So, the end reminds me and, people respond to that. People, can I come down tomorrow? Can I get some? Unfortunately, it's just not enough people. And we have 2 new volunteers and I think they're trying to figure out how to fit their volunteer time into their schedules. One is brand new.
Seeing a lot of progress.
She stopped by.
That's Sue. So I met her.
Yeah, we met her. And since you met her, nothing has happened, but,
Oh, boy.
but she had come and she had done the hostas. They had taken out some of the milkweed, had potted it, so people were able to come and to.
A lot, we can't give, we need to
No.
just tear it out.
And she's
get rid of
going
it.
to, she
Too
will.
much of it.
Her co-chair for that area has been away for, I think Doris was away for like 3 weeks. So anyway, senior of the year, it seems to be coming together. It will be up at the church again this year.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add, so Amy, you mentioned the cultural council has the historic
Scavenger
the
hunt.
scavenger hunt. So that is like an event where people sign up and do it independently, and it's gonna be walking around the area. Is
Is it cultural or is it historic? I don't know.
It's a cultural council
Oh.
together with the historic,
Okay.
not the historic commission, but the
Historic
society, yes. And so that is a thing that people can do on their own time. It's not an event that takes up the whole time from 9 to 1. So like, I think that actually they could work well together. People could do it
Do both.
before 11 because is the senior of the year gonna be
11:30.
at the Unitarian?
Yeah, 11.
Right, so that is right around there. So like, I think that maybe just contacting the cultural council directly and say like, hey, this is going on.
Okay.
Because I think some of the same people might be interested in doing both and they
Good.
totally could. Because I think it's gonna be just walking around and like, I think it'll take people under an hour to do the scavenger
An
hunt.
actual number for the meals though.
And I
Right,
guess-
but I mean, they could sign up for both if they know that they're in the same, they'll be in the same place.
Okay.
So, like,
Yeah.
Karen Mead, can you help me with putting something on Facebook?
Absolutely. What were the hours for the scavenger?
9 to 12, I believe.
9 to 12? Something like that?
I think so.
weather permitting after last year.
Are you all set, Ann? I don't, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, new business, open meeting law receipt. That's something we've got to sign.
Yeah, so I sent an email to all of you with a link, and I apologize, I was on vacation when the town clerk sent it out to all of us. And I think when I came back, it just went like this, and just reminded me, but I will tell you, our board is generally extremely good at doing what we need to do.
We're responsive.
And she did say that, we're not alone, but so I have copies of the receipt. I don't know if anybody has had a chance to look at it. There are several components to it. So, but this is, if you, opened your email, this is just to show that you received it. Okay, I don't expect you to become a.
Were there a
expert.
lot of, were the changes, I didn't look at it, so I don't know. Were the changes dramatic or are they?
I can't even speak to that. I haven't had a chance yet, but again, this is just to say that you received it.
Okay.
Was it by email, Amy?
Yeah, it's by email and
When did you send it?
Monday,
Oh,
Tuesday.
yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
I stopped in yesterday.
And it was on my regular town, my regular home email, not the town email.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I've
I
got
haven't
copies
gotten
here if you could
anything.
take one. If
What
you,
is step two?
it's for the open meeting law. So we did. the-
No, I know we signed it and we received it, but what happens after we sign it?
I give it to the clerk.
That's it. We don't have another thing that we have to do.
Nope.
So we can look at it right now?
You could look at it, yep, you can. Yeah, just do it now and,
Yeah.
Do you have a hard copy of that?
yep, I made them for you
So
folks.
just to clarify, this is not the ethics training.
Yes,
This is
this is
the
not
open
the
meeting.
ethics. So-
Sometimes people hear these and they think they're the same
Yeah,
thing,
so
but they're
she said-
separate.
She said this is new. This is,
Yes.
the signature part is new. So we already did that. And I have to do it.
Give you one piece of paper and we'll keep all the rest.
So I have read and understand the requirements of the open meeting law. You haven't even read it yet.
The public body, the COA.
Yes, Council on Aging.
And I'm not. doing that.
Yeah, you would need to do it if you're a Friends members.
I think some of the updates have to do with remote meetings. Which some of the things that we've already, talked about, that if it's right, you have to say that it's being recorded, you have to announce if there are remote members of the committee. If you have remote members of the committee, you have to do a roll call vote, which has.
So I would recommend that the two co-chairs and myself read them thoroughly. For that reason,
Okay.
that we're in compliance.
So somebody else fills that down.
No, actually, it's confusing. When I saw Ellen yesterday, print your name there and sign it. The bottom part, it looks like you need to be notarized,
Mm.
but according to Ellen yesterday, just put your name and sign it down. So it's,
Just leave it.
So you just want us to fill these out and sign it?
throw a date on the bottom.
Name of public body.
I'm going to Council on Aging.
Yeah, the bottom was confusing. Ellen wasn't quite sure. I think the form was.
Okay.
Brendan seems.
Sure.
Council on Aging.
I put COA here. Just because.
It's a public body, we just put senior center.
Oh, you should be.
No, we were all set last year, weren't we?
You're all
We did, I want to say Diane.
Diane and Donna, I think it was, the two Ds.
Yes.
I thought it was my turn this year, but that
I
was
think
last.
we were last year.
Yeah, I think I did something last year.
Yeah, you guys
Dana, do you remember?
re-upped. You guys re-upped it.
Lena, do you remember if the board, the select
I
board?
think that we did. I mean, like, I feel like we did. It wasn't
Okay.
even, yeah.
I know
but
Katie had reached out to me for both of you.
I feel like we did, but it's sometimes very quick.
And you're doing a whole grouping too.
Right, but I'm pretty sure that we did, but we can confirm with Keith.
It's, Amy, you just collect
Yeah,
them?
just, we pass them down that end and we passed ours down. To collect them.
Any more coming this week?
We're not members.
Oh, and an extra 1 point.
Bill's ready to.
I think you did his,
He did his own.
he went to the clerk.
Oh,
Yeah, mine's all done.
I already did yours.
I need a blank one. Very much. Thank you all.
Okay, moving along. Council on Aging, goals and performance indicators.
Staff updates, I'm sorry.
Oh, staff update, sorry.
We are very close to hiring our prospective person. The background check is being done. We had several good interviews. This person, I think, should they be selected, and I know they would like to accept the job, but should they be selected, we'd be very pleased. I can say that much. So as far as other staff updates, we have a lot of trainings coming up, and wanting to get this person on board ASAP is because they have phenomenal background working with seniors. They haven't done outreach per se. So there's a lot of trainings that are coming up that will help them. And so one of them is the SMOC fuel assistance training. And so that person and I would be going together. And we're looking at a potential appointment next Wednesday, the 17th. Again, should the background check be cleared. That HR is working to that end, just to put it that way. She's got a lot of positions she's trying to hire, so she wants to get this one buttoned up. And again,
You're talking about the outreach coordinator.
Mhm.
Then you went on to saying something about small
Well,
training
it's a
for
train.
small.
She needs training to do the job.
So she would, also, another training, aspect would be through the Blackstone Valley, Partnership for Public Health. We share, a social worker under a grant. We share a social worker with there's 8 towns, 7 other towns and ourselves. And, that person could be an interim person to do applications for SNAP food assistance or fuel assistance. Also, that person, she is willing to help train our new hire, should everything go through. So the new hire would sit in on some of the trainings. I've currently scheduled dates for the Blackstone Valley social worker to come to the senior center 2 days in 2 days this month, 2 days in October as needed, and we would be doing the scheduling. And then they would meet with the people there. So that's happening. We also have the State Council on Aging annual conference down in the Seacrest in Falmouth. I would like Shauna to come a day, and I'd like this new hire to come a day. I will be going at least 2 days, not staying over there. I have other off-site accommodations that won't cost the town anything, but I've asked Shauna to please look through the itinerary to see what workshops would benefit her. And again, we'll do the same thing with this new hire. I've looked through them all, and I'll sit down with them and we'll figure out which ones could best serve them.
What's the name of that conference?
Mass Councils on Aging, MCOA.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
MCOA.
yeah.
And unfortunately, it's a pretty pricey one, but it's also a very well-established one. It'll be good for, for example, the new hire to meet other outreach workers, and it'll be good for Shauna to hone in on certain aspects of her position too. So that.
Amy, on that thought, actually, I'm going to talk about something. We went many years ago, back in 22. It was very helpful, I think, at that point, to refresh us what the state was doing.
Mhm.
Is there any chance that some COA members, if they had time, could make it?
It's awful expensive. That's the thing. It's over $200 a day.
$15 a day. Our budget is like $1,000. So it's.
I was just thinking networking with some of the state people would be helpful as we go forward.
Well, if you have enough money to send one and Phil's interested, I don't know if anybody else, I know I'm not interested.
I've been several times. In fact, that's where we met our first architect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a different architect this year, and I'm not sure what day he's on, if it's Thursday or Friday.
Does anyone else have an interest besides Phil? Because it would be a driving down, it would be a day trip.
It's 9 to 4. You can
Well, if you've got enough money.
Look online. So 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. We're over the maximum, but we can
take it out of our COA
We
grant?
could have a deficit in one line item if we have to.
I'm just thinking it was helpful for me.
Well, if you have what's happening on each of the days,
Yep, you have to go on. That's what I did. I sat
Yeah.
on Sunday and just.
let them look
Yep.
and choose one. That's fine.
I'm gonna just check it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's in October.
it is 3 days. It's October 20, I think it's 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. You're gonna miss the birthday bash if it's that day.
You're always gonna have it on a Wednesday.
Oh. Yeah.
There's 2 times it's.
All right. Okay, anything else, Amy, on that?
Nope.
All right, goals and performance indicators. Walk us through that, please.
All right. So this is something that Jeremy had asked all department heads back in May. We were due to get back to him by June 4th, which I did. And I told him, I think we then met in July. We didn't meet in August. So I'm meeting with him again next week. So I told him, he was asking us for our, anticipated goals. I told him throughout my response letter that I needed to speak with my board, see what your interests were. I did meet with him back then, and one of the things, some of the it's called key performance indicators. One of the things he was interested in, that I met with him back in May, so forgive me, I can't quite recall his reasoning, was repeat users. So one thing we can look at is number of people that are served. We do that every year. I have to do that 2 different ways. I have to do it on a calendar year basis for the town, for the annual report, and then I have to do it on a fiscal year basis for the state. And so we look at the number of individuals served. Jeremy was somewhat interested in repeat users, people that, coming back again and again for one thing or another. I'm also interested in honing in on something that will reduce isolation and loneliness. And I think with our new outreach worker, we can look at that. And then transportation, wanting to increase our transportation. It is starting to, we've got some new people riding the van to come to the center for programs on a regular basis. We have a lot of seniors moving to town to live with their adult children, a lot. They're coming in, I'm glad when they come in with their adult child a couple of times first to help, make them feel comfortable. But it's changing the landscape of, who we're serving. I would like to see our numbers go back up in transportation to our pre-pandemic numbers. And then accessibility for working older adults. I know I've heard, some folks mention, wanting to have evening programs. We've been doing a few with the Shine insurance programs. We've got one this month. We have one next month. We're starting up the evening yoga again. Just trying to draw on some people that are still working.
What does this report do?
It's, it's kind of open-ended. I'm meeting with him next week, but yeah, I sent this all out the other night to you. If you want to give it some thought, or if anybody has a thought right now of something, goals that you'd like to consider. What I told him, and you folks have heard this from me before. I said my longtime personal goal was to have sometime have a drop-off place where a person could come, and this may not be it may be after me, but I've seen the model in other towns, 3 towns of Hudson, Marlborough, and I'm not trying to go there. They all have a drop-off day. One will have it one week, one will have it the next week, one will have it the next week. And a family member can bring their mom or dad, and they can then go, out for an appointment, out to the bank, home for a nap. Just something to relieve them. Just for that one is a day situation. I was thinking maybe just a morning situation if we ever were to do it. Or I said, on a smaller scale, a memory cafe. I don't know if you've seen in my past newsletters, I've advertised Atria Draper Place. Some of our Mendon families, couples have been going there on a fairly regular basis. Atria has acknowledged that to me, not their names per se, but I know who they are. That could be something that we do once a month. And then we could advertise that, we do it this week, Atria does it next week, maybe another town does it next week. It's a place where people can bring their loved one who has dementia to an enjoyable program with entertainment, refreshments, but not feel embarrassed by any, unusual or uncomfortable activities or, I don't know, things that they might say or do, or.
Would that be on a Friday then? When
I was thinking on a Friday, because
Because
I was thinking of holding it on a
yeah.
Friday. And so that it could be a once a month thing, but it's just something to reach a different subset that maybe doesn't come to our center. And again, that's, written out here too, but, it started with the select board. It was looking at their goals and achievements for FY25 and then looking ahead to FY26. So Elena, I don't know if you have anything further you can say about that.
I mean, it's just, yeah, townwide
How do you want to measure?
goals to be able to measure that we're like actually working towards the goals. So just, it's more like moving in that direction generally.
And so we have yet to, I don't know when the select board might be speaking with us on it or when I'm meeting with Jeremy next week. But so that we know kind of what the select board might have in mind for us. I did hear through the grapevine that the select board is going to be talking about the senior work program. And I'm not sure to what extent, I'm not sure. I haven't, and Jeremy and I might talk about that next week. I work with several departments on that, the assessors, the treasurers, and HR. And of course, Jeremy, so that's something too.
So I don't think the select board is planning on working with departments directly about the goals, but through Jeremy. But I would be happy to I'd be happy to be part of the discussions with that, but,
Okay.
But like, it's not something that we as a board are doing because it's more,
It's Jeremy.
right, it's, through Jeremy.
From what you were saying before, it's almost like you're thinking of like setting up a consortium with neighboring towns.
Could be. I've seen it work in other towns and it's been very positive. Granted, they're different than we are, but just, and as I said, I said, wrote this paper, this is me. These are thoughts that I've had. I've had that thought since, before I became a director. I just see what family members go through and it's very stressful, caring for someone in general. But never mind caring for someone with dementia. And so what they do, the models that I've seen, that actually the senior centers provide the space, but they utilize, for the one with the adult, it's almost like an adult day. They utilize employees and workers from assisted living facilities. So it's not that we even have to have employees. I think that the memory cafe would be a different model. And the memory cafe, we would have to get, apply for and get registered through the state. It's not something we can just say, oh, hey, we want to do memory cafe. There are steps that we have to go through. Anything to do with dementia, it's not something that we have to be trained at our center. So, yeah. So if you think of something too that, a goal that you'd like to see, again, greater participation. I know, Phil has brought that up, I'd like to see greater transportation use, and more evening programs, but they need to be, and actually if my schedule was changed, there you go, I'd be someone to cover an evening program.
I think this one is really a good idea, this one, memory cafe, working with the towns. Why don't we explore that and just say, here's what the state requirements are. The goal would be to implement this thing in 26, the beginning of the year. And then for the rest of the next couple of months, figure out how to get there. It sounds like.
So we have a really good tutor in Atria Draper Place. Again, they do it monthly. And I think Karen had asked me too, because they have live, entertainment. And I think you had asked me about getting a list. Donna, who was there at Monday, I had asked her months ago, and
Carolyn spoke to her as well, and she gave me her contact.
yeah, she's not the person that plans the entertainment though. So
But she said she'd put me in touch.
right. So she referred me to someone else as well. So yeah.
Well, I think that'd be great. Your idea that you wanted to have let's just do it. Try it as a pilot. If it doesn't float, we commit it for a year, maybe, but then we can reevaluate or maybe expand.
So I can look into the, actually, there are some workshops about this down at the Cape.
There you go. That's what
There are about, doing,
A memory cafe?
I think
and to do with programs to do with the dementia group. So
I think I think there's areas, as long as we have it covered with the proper professionals and training.
Right, and the money has to come from somewhere to pay for that.
Well, we have to look at the money. If there's an offset, we may be able to do it from program for some of the OAs.
Yeah.
Begin with,
And that's
next
something
year as
too.
part of the budget.
I was gonna say, that's something too. We probably wouldn't be able to do it this year, but the cultural council, I think they would love that. You know, if we put in a grant for, you know, the only thing is you're supposed to have your entertainer and your dates and all that up front when you apply for the grant. But I would think that that's something that they would really support.
I think that we'll figure out a way to get it funded.
Well, I've been kind of waiting for someone else to kind of jump on board with.
I'm not necessarily suggesting I run the program.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that, but you know, you have to feel that it's, you know, worthwhile to look into and.
I watch older people as well, family and friends. And it's an important area if they could drop somebody off and know that they're safe.
Because it's not a new idea, there must be tons of information.
There are workshops that you have to be trained in it. You know, you have to apply to do it. So it's not just, like I said, it's not something you just say, hey, we want to do this.
Elena,
Oh, so yeah, did Jeremy talk about like multi-year goals? Like, I know, so I think, because that's another, I don't, that's another direction that the town has been encouraging, is not just, you know, goals for the year, but the longer term goals in terms of like figuring out the staffing that you want to get to in the future, as well as the space needs. And it might actually help with future like requests for the new facilities to have these goals, that these are the programs that we're working towards. And it, you know, so for example, the library has the 5-year strategic plan that they worked out. That's a formalized process that libraries have in there. Like, I don't know if there are similar processes for senior centers, senior services. But I know for the library that like opened up different grant possibilities for them, but it also gives them a framework for the goals that they, you know, measurable goals that they're working towards each year. So it just gives the structure.
Good point.
But I know the library has that because that's what the state libraries have, and I don't know if there's something parallel. Maybe there isn't, but maybe there's something you can.
I'll have to take a look at the library, see if it's actionable or if it's just visionary.
It's both. I mean, it's got specific, you know, it's pretty comprehensive, and and it might be a useful model to look at to see like if there are like not the exact same goals, but the sort of the scale of the goals.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, we did have, he was saying that our expansion committee would have had goals like that, and we did. We were looking at what would happen along the route. But of course, the biggest hurdle was getting it passed.
You know.
Once it's passed, then you even have more goals.
Yeah,
All right, we should move on a little bit. All right, Veterans Appreciation, Friday, November 7th.
Yes. Looking, it sounds like the Friends have an idea of what they would like to, you know, bestow upon the veterans. I generally reach out to the police association, to the president of that group. Have not done so yet, but they've never said no to
No,
us
I don't think they will.
in all these years. Yep, so I don't know if, you know, I think anybody has any feedback on, you know, breakfast, fare.
Did you replace the toaster?
No, not yet. Not yet. We don't typically use it, but, yeah. I don't know if anybody else is, but we could do that. I didn't honestly realize.
I just heard, I'm sorry, I just thought that there was a complaint that last year that the toaster wasn't working.
It wasn't working right. I think it had to do with the waffles or whatever we had, something different.
Yeah, we were supposed to use the oven for those. But yeah, and see the minstrels will be starting on Monday. They're going to be working on their veterans performance and music, and then also their fall performance music. And You know, one thing that came up the other day, somebody had brought up the idea, we haven't done a potluck in a long time, and I've been avoiding them because they don't seem like it, but they are really labor intensive, you know?
Yeah, and the setup makes it difficult because the minstrels are singing in the area that you want to set up the food.
Right. But we've done that too, where after like volunteer appreciation, we had to wait for our our musician to break down before we could set up, but you know, yeah, otherwise we don't have to consider that, but that is a huge draw. Potluck is a huge draw. I think we were kept away from it because of COVID and, you know, germs and all that. I don't know if you guys have an opinion. If you want to nix it right now, that's fine with me.
You're not suggesting the vets.
No, not for
No,
veterans,
no, no, I'm
the
sorry.
fall program,
So the
the
minstrel-
regular fall
The minstrels
program.
the minstrels are starting Monday and they're performing, they're gonna be practicing for the veterans and their fall program. I think the veterans is the typical breakfast fare, we do some.
They want to talk. You know, it's camaraderie.
Right.
Questions on the veterans?
Mhm.
Can we open it up to all veterans to sign up in the town? And,
Trouble we have is
well-
space.
well, let me get
Okay.
there. If we have enough room for the veterans, if we have a big turnout, we move the venue.
And how do the minstrels sing? You have to have a place with a piano.
How about a keyboard?
I don't know, you'd have to talk to Dave about that.
I'm just saying, what really hurt me, well, number one, I didn't go last year because there's not enough room.
Right.
Number two, the first year I went and I started learning that we're not inviting all veterans. That makes no sense. We should be able to invite the entire veteran population if they plan to attend. And many of them won't because they work, probably. But we could then say, okay, where do we go? Maybe we move it to Willowbrook, maybe whatever that restaurant is, or maybe we move it to some other place. We figured out how to do a fundraiser, get something done, or ask the town to subsidize it. In our statement last year, we said we wanted to begin to charge the town for venue locations. I don't know if that ever got into a budget. But by limiting ourselves, put it in this hall. I don't care. You know, have it catered, you know, take it upstairs and downstairs, empty the building. We need to serve a population.
Have you had to turn a lot of veterans away? What, do they call up and you say, sorry, we've got
No, we
full
we've
capacity?
had space,
But-
we had problems, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, we had so many volunteers. The police came and forced along with spouses, and that was a little bit tricky. But I think every year we still have more space for, you know, like say, we could set up another table.
I guess my only point, when you go out to all the veterans, even if they're sitting on top of each other. And they're sitting in the upstairs room. We need to include the whole population, because I think you did state, we did not go out to the whole audience. Collectively went out to the veterans.
Didn't we have an age? You invited veterans above a certain age?
I don't think so. I think
No.
you just sent
It
it.
was in the paper, letter.
Okay, I don't know, maybe I'm.
I think what we did do is, I think for the seniors the veterans that were seniors, 1 year, we put the invitation in here. That's what we did. It was open to everybody, Phil, but the ones that we actually invited personally were seniors. So, but it was open to anybody. So last year, we did have a couple of young veterans. We had one, he was so impressed, and he has come back since to meet with Robin Fletcher when Robin's had roundtable discussions.
Sorry.
So
Probably the Unitarian Church, they have a kitchen.
Yeah.
I'd always thought about them as being a backup. Our first year, I was very hopeful that the next year we would have to go up there.
The only thing you miss though, when you say the Unitarian Church, we decorate and make it look so patriotic. We have the curtains.
Right.
It gives
The round table.
atmosphere of,
Yeah.
you know, you'd be up there in that big open hallway and it's, I don't know, it just
So we're-
doesn't have that.
I know
Same
exactly what
feeling.
you're saying, because one time the Unitarian Church was set up differently and it almost looked empty
Yeah.
for the senior of the year.
Yeah.
He put up too many tables.
Yeah, and
He
it
had
looked
them
empty.
like, yes, it did look
It
empty.
did look empty.
I guess that's all manageable with foresight and planning to set it up in a cozy environment, no matter where you go.
I don't think it's been a problem though, that we've had to turn, it's not like we've had to turn people away.
My only point, I don't think we'll get it. I'm gonna bandwagon this for every COA meeting for the rest of my life. We need to have a broader outreach. That statement that Amy made, that person was so happy that he went there and found it such a good experience, they got connected with the veterans coordinator, is invaluable, that one person. And there might be 3 other people out there, but we don't know. So when we go out, it's a veterans appreciation luncheon. Seniors, young, old, anybody that served the country. And then we can work with the police
You know,
department.
that's, I want to say, almost what you're saying, it's bigger than us. And the police department, they fund this event and they do provide, I think last year we were lucky. They apologized, but I think last year they only had maybe 3 volunteers. I can't remember. I don't know if you remember, Peg.
I wasn't.
But which was fine because like I said, in prior years when they had so many, it, you know, depends on their schedule. But I think what you're talking is even bigger. I mean, I know I wouldn't be able to coordinate it. This I can kind of coordinate with my eyes closed because I know the venue, I know the pieces, and people, non-senior veterans are absolutely invited. Again, it's in the newspaper. It's generally, once I can figure out the new town website, it'll be on the website.
But anyway, I just think we need to think about stuff like that.
You know, the first time we did this too, or the first couple of times, we did this in the evening. And, but that was tricky too. And we
It
got,
wasn't a breakfast then.
no, we
No.
got guest chefs to come.
Dinner at night.
Yeah, but it was the darkness, parking, the darkness down there. It was, we just said, no, we weren't going to do that again. Do you remember that, Earl? Those early days, it was just way too dark at 5 o'clock. And so, I mean, Earl, I'd like to hear what you have to say. You come to it every year. You give the blessing every year, you know.
I don't know what to say. You're saying that we really haven't so far had to turn people away. So I think this year, it's only a couple of months away. We probably should do it the way we've always done it, but then take a year of planning, maybe for the following one, how we can reach out more to the community and to the veterans and get an idea of numbers who might want to participate and so forth. But I think it's kind of a stressful thing now to kind of try to work this out when it's only 2 months away.
I appreciate that, thought, but I think we need to commit as a team, organization, to start the planning of that.
And you're going to head up the committee?
I'd be glad to work with Dave and the police department and say, come on, let's go do this. I'm not a veteran,
Yeah.
but I do
That's
appreciate.
okay. I'm not a veteran.
Appreciate what they've done.
But it's just for the Mendon veterans.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
And the
occasionally,
others that aren't from our town.
occasionally, like,
We've had people from all
yeah,
over.
because we might have a son-in-law. We have a senior whose son-in-law.
And then we have somebody that's in the chorus that is a veteran.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's there.
Right.
Maybe segueing towards something like a coffee brunch or something that could include more people.
Well, I'm thinking if we do something anyway, we should just be more inclusive. If it's sponsored by the police department, understanding where they're coming from, have them broaden their horizon of who should be attended, then plan for something that could be bigger in the future. Go ahead, please.
Oh, have you been in contact with the new Veteran Services Coordinator?
Yes. Yeah, I've dealt with him over the years. He's covered for Robin Fletcher over the years when Robin's on vacation.
It might be,
Good person.
might be nice to like connect with him and get his input about how to reach
Okay.
out to the
Who is
veterans.
This is Pat Morris.
I noticed on the new bulletin, you have Pat Morris
Yep.
down here, but you don't have Robin. Did Robin
No, Robin
retire?
retired.
He
He was
retired.
told, one of the prior newsletters, I said he was June 30th was his last day.
You put his picture and it was from the sock hop.
It was, yes,
I forgot, I must have read it, I'm sure I read it.
I will do that.
No, it's a good point. I think, well, it's a good point, but I think I'll be glad to take an action item, talk to Dave, reach out to Pat Morrison. How can we make this program effective? And it would be a rush to do that, but I would open, in your invite, make sure we get it out to the newspaper.
Absolutely.
And really not just senior,
It's usually, Karen will have it on Facebook. It'll be in the newspaper.
so veterans are.
And if there's an overflow and we have to stop people from coming as a result, that certainly would give more reach to
I agree,
Right.
Offsite.
different venue and offsite.
I agree. Good point, Earl. Thank you.
All right, Amy, COA meeting dates, you want some changes?
Yeah, just, I hope people are okay with these changes. November 5th, which would be 2 days before the Veterans Breakfast. I'm gonna be, in Florida the following week. With a family, going to Universal. And then December 3rd, I have touched base with the Felicis. They would like to sponsor our holiday dinner again. And we came up with a date of December 10th because Thanksgiving is late this year. And so December 3rd, which sometimes we've had it the first Wednesday of the month, it's just back to back with Thanksgiving. So we'd like to, put that off. So they're agreeable to December 10th for the COA holiday dinner.
And the COA would be the 3rd, you said.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
So those dates, November 5th and December 3rd.
Yes, for our meeting, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
No, I'm just saying, and I may have a complication.
Oh, yeah.
If it has a
No,
dilated or anything.
It would never be a problem anyway, Earl.
Sure.
Would be a problem. Okay. Change in upcoming meetings, we can cross that off. All right, open forum. I don't have anything myself. I'm just gonna go around the table. Is this before open forum?
Yeah, I think. I just have a question. I read in the newsletter where we have a focus group sharing strength.
Yep.
But it doesn't say what their focus is.
Okay,
So could you,
it's a support group. It's a support group.
okay,
This is like
Emotional support.
for
Emotional
people who are
support.
ill, support group for people who have someone deceased.
Anybody at this point, it's a emotional support group and it's not geared towards any one of those. We had, this social worker, we've had her for a number of years and she led a very viable program where people could just come and feel supported and share whatever. This time around, she said that she wanted to have like a topic so that was more focused when they came. And so, but they feel supported.
I
And
don't know what the topic is. I guess
it's
that's-
different every time. It's different every time.
I guess my point is that it doesn't say what it is in the newsletter, so. So
Right.
going forward, it might be a good idea to have her tell you what the focus is gonna be.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
How have people been directed to that program? Have they been directed through Janet previously?
No, well, possibly Janet, me, but some of them are people that had belonged to the support group before. This is a social worker that we shared through a regional grant for a number of years. And when the grant came to its end, we were fortunate to get her agreement to come and to offer this, type of support. So some of them are people that had participated before. What I've been doing is I've had seniors that come in that are struggling with, maybe they have lost a spouse, maybe they're in a place where they have to give up their home. I've been directing them, offering this as a possibility. It's up to them to feel comfortable accepting or not. And sometimes it takes a couple of times of being invited,
Yeah,
so.
no, it sounds like a very worthwhile program.
I mean-
I was just very confused about how it worked. And I figured if I was confused, other people might be confused too.
Does that person, Gail, does she choose the topic?
Yes.
You should be trained the dollars and even helping that.
Brilliant.
Okay, back to open forum. I don't have anything myself. Earl, anything?
Nope.
Put on the brakes.
Is there gonna, I'm sorry, is there
No,
gonna be a conversation or we're gonna talk at all about cleanup downstairs? Is that gonna be tabled?
Not at this place. No.
What?
Yeah, I said not at this location. I took,
I'm sorry, Amy, I wouldn't have brought it up. I just thought you said at our meeting yesterday that you were gonna bring it up with the council.
no, I didn't mean necessarily here.
Oh, okay.
No, what I would like to say is we've got a very successful group and I thank Carolyn for the compliment the other day with the food pantry. We've got a nice team that works down there and I'd like to propose a similar idea for, you know, the other side of the basement. So I'm gonna work on that. Kathy Hunt was one person that stayed after the Friends meeting and has some very good energy. We have Lisa Hurley that has become a new volunteer at the center, and I'd like to invite some volunteers to assist in that process.
Yeah, I'm probably missing something here. So what's the end result? We're not talking about it now, but it's gonna be something that you're gonna work on with them.
So
So that
not
we'll get,
necessarily with them, but
oh,
it's not
because they're
necessarily,
gonna do it.
no, they're not gonna do it.
They're not gonna do the reorganization. Am I missing something?
We haven't.
I think what I just took from what Amy said was that she has a corporate, she would prefer to work with on that.
Yeah.
So rather than.
Yes.
Do you want anything in the notes about this? Because I'm totally confused. Under open forum, what, do you want me to put anything in the notes about this? I don't know what's going on here.
Probably a discussion about reorganizing the basement. I mean,
And Amy's got a group.
we need to know, I would need to know kind of like what areas like you just did the yarn and stuff. It looks great down there. Now, your next project, the next thing you would like to see organized is,
We volunteered to help to clean up the other side of the basement so that it looks as organized and efficient as the food pantry.
okay. And so,
Can this wait
That's-
till
we
we put it on the
volunteered to do
agenda
that.
for the next time?
Excuse me?
Can this wait till we put it on the agenda for the next time?
No, I don't think it's going on the agenda, if I understand.
I would like to
She
talk
has
to my board co-chairs. I haven't had a chance.
all right. We'll keep that thought open. And, because you provided the bins and things like that, right?
I brought some bins.
You brought some, but some were
Some were
there,
there.
the longer elongated ones.
And I don't think you have to write anything.
I don't know.
No, I don't
know
think you have to
putting
write
anything down 'cause I don't
anything.
know what to say.
Karen, anything, this Karen in the open forum?
I was just wondering about the veterans breakfast. Is that in the planning stages? Or do we have volunteers for that or?
Well, you're planning more for,
Would you like to volunteer?
Sure.
Yay.
that would be more of
Well.
a topic in October, right?
Yeah, we're.
It's coming fast.
Carol and I can work on it.
Okay,
I'm the greeter.
okay.
Yeah, Diane's been with us for a number of years.
Diane, anything in open forum?
Yes, they do have,
Okay, fire away.
that we want to put a basket together. This is a suggestion, I'm not demanding it. We want to put a basket together for the raffle and things like that. And I'm like generally the one that,
Yes, you're right.
this,
The
it's like go
October
around
fest.
to,
Then those-
Not
like
you,
a
not
donation.
any of you three. This is money this is basically a COA basket that we each kick in $10. Thank you.
For the
Yes.
October fest.
I think I
Yeah.
sent an email.
You did. Oh, good.
Anybody have an envelope that I can stick with?
No, I don't.
Got the envelope down the center.
Yes, my page.
We got changing. Anything else?
Earl and I,
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, anybody have change?
I just took his change.
How much you give?
10. Oh, that works. Okay,
All right.
you got it?
Okay, we have. to do a
Phil?
cabinet
We have 1
meeting
minute.
now.
I know.
We have 1 minute. I have one statement and then we can work on it for next meeting.
Okay,
Okay. I went back through time. In 2022, I went to the meeting, all the programs at the center of the,
center or centers?
this statewide.
Oh, statewide.
That's what we did. Put a
Yes.
list together of all the things and the future vision of what we were gonna do for the new building. I would ask each member here to take a look at this list again. And I didn't know anything 2.5 years ago. So
They get it over now.
take a look at the list again and start to compile what we would like to do and get it to Amy and to this board. Start driving more programs into the center.
Is there any more left?
And we're doing a good job at that. I think we're talking about a lot of good things. We're talking about, Amy's talked about a lot of good programs to add, and I think that's wonderful. But we're getting up to full staff potential again.
Yeah.
I'd like us to think about, what else can we do? Be creative, look at expanding Mondays, expanding Fridays, and Amy comes up with this idea for Friday mornings. That's a great idea.
Right.
And there's more. And what can we do in the evening? So I guess each one of you would ask an action to send back your ideas. We'll categorize them and let's review it as an action item at the next COA.
Like, put you on the agenda for that, and that, as
With
a,
your input.
oh, yeah, absolutely. So when we come back next month, we should have this paper with us with whatever we've marked off.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, that's all I have.
And
And-
anything for open, oh, you had another,
And other idea, I'm sorry, I was,
no, that's all right.
recruit,
Done.
how do we recruit more people in this town?
No.
We've got a demographic issue between 60 and 70.
And still working. The economy is such that it's forcing people to still work.
Oh, there's not just that. I sent an email to the three of you, Carolyn and Karen, about, a senior that's looking to come back.
Yes.
Who's been taking care of her 4 grandchildren.
Right, I saw
A
that.
couple of years.
In fact, she want to help with the scarecrow, is she?
Yes,
there?
I was with you.
1:00, yeah.
What we need to get.
So let's just continue. We'll talk about that too. As we have programs, we'll need more outreach.
Submit both of those to Amy as agenda item for next month. So we're sure that it gets on, because she's got to give see, even talking about it on Monday, she had already put the agenda through. Ellen wants it a week ahead of time.
I contacted Donna right after our board meeting, so it was just a matter of her being able to coordinate. So I don't know what happens there.
Oh. And you had nothing in open forum, Amy? Anything in open forum? No. Right, so the basic meeting is over. It's 12:10, but we have to also elect officers, Amy? Okay. Next meeting is October 8th. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for coming. I'll see you at
It's our
1.
pleasure.
See you at 1.
I'll see you at 1.
I have
Bye, Dan.
pictures of Richard Simmons.
Oh, oh my God. You're really going back into my memory banks. Thanks, Elena, for coming.
This is like you're closing this
We're
meeting.
closing this part, but we just figured that our guests wouldn't be part of our election. So, I don't know how we handle it on that. Do we say we're in executive session?
No, we're not.
We're not in executive session.
No, I was trying to come up with.
No, I had looked into that, but I've looked in past years. We never went into an
Okay,
executive session.
it's not a problem with us.
It's no different than the select board deciding who is going to be chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not
Nope, you're not adjourning.
I'm sorry, Ann.
Sorry.
I wasn't sure. I figured it was.
No, I had looked into that. I'm sorry, Peg, I should have told you.
No,
that.
it's all right.
Because I was going to build it in, and then I said, no, we've never done an executive session before.
I can just shoot
All right, apparently it's time for us to elect officers.
Yes. Oh, John had to leave?
Don, I guess so. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
she did.
Sorry, but
All right, I'll do
I
it.
need a class.
Okay, I'll do it.
Karen, I'll be in touch with you.
Okay.
thanks, Karen. Thank you for coming. Okay, so we have to elect officers. We have the position of, well, we've been doing co-chairs, secretary and treasurer. Is that correct? Not many of us. Does anybody have any feelings about strong feelings that what they'd like to be, if they'd like to hold office?
I have polled the current officers and have asked, if they would like to continue. And I think the consensus I get is if nobody else really wants. the
Right,
position.
Earl and I talked the other day too, and we said, if anyone has really a strong feeling like I would really like to be a co-chair or whatever, it's fine, it's fine with us.
You guys do a good job.
Yeah, you do a great job.
We're happy to do it, but we didn't want to take it away from anybody who might
Yeah,
possibly.
right, that's how
wanna
I
do
feel
it.
with the secretary. I mean, I've been secretary for I don't even know how many years. It's a long time. When Ruth O'Grady retired, resigned, I took over as secretary.
She was secretary.
Yes, she
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So, if somebody.
do a
else
great
wanted
job.
to Give it a try. I don't want to.
I'm very pleased with what we have right now.
I don't have to do much. I just read it.
All right, so I suppose we're making a motion to keep this late,
Yes.
officers the same. Does anyone second that?
I second.
Bill seconds it.
Who made the motion?
I did. Oh, I just,
And Phil seconded?
yeah. All those in favor?
Right,
Thank you, guys.
aye.
Well,
Bill, could you email me the, programs? I think they're.
now we're adjourned. 12:05.
Okay.
One of our longer meetings.
Well, you know, we had a lot of discussion of things.
Going to the ABMI meeting
Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
It's tomorrow.
We're having,
ABMI.
Going
you
to
guys,
the,
still recording?
Video meeting.
yeah, tomorrow night,
Yeah.
6:15.
Yeah. Are you gonna go to the thing?
Yes, I'm going to the dinner.
You are, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't help us out. I don't help us out. He came to our car show with a drone.